My name is Mark Miner. I am an investigative writer and author. In my travels, I've investigated many people and places. Watch as I seek out stories that are typically outside of the box of normal. I am the Seeker. Hi everybody. So I just wanted to create a new video. This one is another cave creatures episode. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I'm doing this research and what caused me to, what really propelled me to do this. I want to go way back to when I was a teenager. When I was about 16, my grandma Lola May would tell me stories. I mean, she always told me stories at the table. And I think the reason why she always chose me, she had a lot of grandchildren. And the reason why she would talk to me a lot was because I actually listened. And I was intrigued by her stories. She was always, she was a Christian. But she was very much into the paranormal and into cryptozoology and into, you know, lore and myth and all that. Her whole life. She has traveled a lot in her life, and she has always sought out things that were not the norm. And this is what I loved about her. And anyways, so when I was about 16, her health started kind of declining. And she would feel like she had to tell me a lot of stories to pass on, you know, to the rest of the family, which is kind of what our culture is about. I'm Irish, and we come from that. There are other little things in our family lineage, but that's the prominent one. And my grandma, you know, in our way of life, passing down stories from one generation to the next is kind of you know, part of the course. And so my grandmother found me to do that in. And a lot of the reason because I didn't give her that look of disbelief or doubt. I just opened up, you know, widely and listened to her. And she told me that angels would come through her window and talk to her regularly while she laid on her bed in her bedroom. And one of the stories that the angels told her, there were many, but what the angels were doing was they were telling her secrets, you know, giving her answers of why things are what they are. And my grandmother always was aware, you know, that the Cro-Magnon, or, you know, how do I say, cavemen, let's just use that. Cavemen look quite different than us as Homo sapiens. My grandmother never really believed in evolution. She never believed we came from apes. If that's the case, if there was any, and I believe that as well. I believe if we evolved from apes, then why are there still apes, right? So, anyways, what these angels told her, you know, with the reason, you know, where humanity came from and why there's so many different looking types of hominids. Kind of on a side note, hominid is us. Hominid are many different species. Hominids are of human origin, human DNA, walking on 2 feet, you know, us. So there's many, many varieties of hominids. I actually covered this in a whole chapter in my latest book, My Paranormal Life, which is a book written about what I've studied over the years and the truths I found behind many varieties of things in the paranormal cryptozoological world, dealing on a medical basis, a psychological basis, you know, paranormal basis and the such. And one chapter is about the different types of hominids that have lived on this planet at the same time. And scientists, archaeologists, sociologists, anthropologists are all finding this to be true. So these angels told my grandmother that when the Ice Age hit, millions upon millions of years ago, when the dinosaurs were on this planet, it went very slowly. The icebergs and the ice would slowly come down south. And a lot of these hominids on the planet, the many variety of species, ran from that. And there were some that faced it and lived it, died, but a lot of them ran to warmer climates. And some of them were not able to run fast enough or migrate fast enough, so they went into cave systems, deep into cave systems. Some were not lucky enough to get deep enough, some were lucky to go way deep. I have went into some very deep cave systems. I think the furthest I've ever been in is about 5 miles down. I'm not a professional. They call them spelunkers. I'm not a professional spelunker. I'm very much an amateur spelunker. So I can only go so far. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the know-how. I've never been trained. But my curiosity leads me to that. There is a video that I put out, an episode that I put out called Cave Creatures 1, where me and Austin went into a cave system not too far. I think we went about a mile in, and we got some pretty interesting evidence. Anyways, so these hominids went into these cave systems and lived. They just adapted. One thing about the hominid species, which we're one of them, is our greatest gift is adaptability. So you have to understand that when you go into a cave system, it's very dark down there. You have to learn all new resources, such as you're going to be eating different types of protein, different types of vegetation. You're not going to have lettuce and cows down there, I would assume. I don't know. You would have different dietary needs, and your physicality would change, as well as your mental state. You would think that living in more shadowy, darker areas, the eyes would eventually get bigger as they multiply, having new babies and stuff like that. Because the eye's bigger, you'd be able to see more in shadows and darkness. The ears would change. We have very floppy kind of ears because it protects us from wind, so we can hear better and kind of attract the megahertz that we're able to hear. But that would change if you went down there. You would be able to hear more of an echo like bats. More of a sonar kind of hearing, whereas ours is not. The teeth would change, the muscle structure of your body would change, as well as your internal organs. My point is, you would not look like us. Eventually you would change, and you would look something different from us. The thing about us as humans, our hominid species, Homo sapiens, is we have the idea that we are the highest form of life on this planet. And I will guarantee you, we are not. Case in point, if you're the highest form of intelligent species on this planet and whatever, just go sit in a room full of tigers. You know what I mean? So we're not the center of the universe. We're not perfection. We are just a blip, just a speck amongst all these realities. So the angels told my grandmother that these hominids went down into these cave systems. I will also state that one of the things that got me into the paranormal and cryptozoology are 3 different things. One was my grandma Lola May, for obvious reasons. the woman was the most interesting person I have ever met my whole life, and she had stories. She would chase after things and hunt them down, and very brave woman. The other was my Aunt Charlene. My Aunt Charlene was more into the spiritual side of things. She brought me in and taught me, and joined groups in the metaphysical sense. Showing how we can expand spiritually, and grow spiritually. How we understand that everything's energy and everything's connected by that energy. She also was into Eastern philosophies and Eastern spirituality, and she taught me a little bit about that. But my Aunt Charlene was very much an adventurer, and she was a seeker herself, as well as my grandmother. And they were two big influences on my life. The third one being, an incident that started it all with me when I was 9 years old. And that has been written about in several books, and including my last book. I shared that history of what happened with me there. So my last book, My Paranormal Life, you can find that on Amazon. Okay, so with that being said, with what my grandma told me about the angels coming and talking to her on this one topic, there were many, on this one topic about the hominids going into the caves. Later in life, early 40s, I started really researching it, and I have chronologically, excuse me, I can't speak today, went along with anthropologist, anybody, archaeologist, anybody who has went into these cave systems and studied reports of people seeing live and dead hominids, dead meaning bones, skeletons, and the such. So I have about 5 cases here that I want to report to you. So I'll try to do them in order. So June 7, 2017, an unknown hominid species was found in a cave called, I'm not very good at these foreign words, Jebel Irhoud on Morocco's west coast. January 25th, 2018, unknown skeleton of an hominid found in an Israeli cave just outside Africa. Let's see here what we got. April 2019, a new species of hominid was found in Callao Cave in the Philippines. July 16th, 2019, unknown hominid found in a cave in Greece. And then, the very, very latest one, August 26, 2021, a skeleton of an unknown hominid found in Sulawesi in Indonesia. It's all over the world. That's just 5. I've only listed 5. There are thousands. I'm not going to tell you every case or every finding. This episode would be 10 hours long. So, but there are dozens and thousands and tens of thousands of these skeletons found in caves all over the world. Don't even get me started on Mexico. I don't know why that's such a hot place for skeletal hominid skeletons found. So many different types. Do your research. Go on the internet and look this up. It's fascinating. It really humbles you to know that you are not the center of the universe, which is kind of cool, because it's like we're finding these cousins we didn't know we had, as far as the species goes. So they're slowly figuring out that throughout time there was no evolution. We didn't come from apes and the such. And I'm a firm believer of that. I used to believe that because, one, they taught that in school, and so it kind of just got ingrained in the head. But I don't believe that anymore. Simple fact, I mean, if you think common sense wise, if we originated from apes, why are there still apes on the planet? So, or monkeys or whatever. It just doesn't line up. But the science has proven it, that there were so many different hominid species, human-like, from Neanderthal to Homo sapiens to hundreds of them that lived on this planet at one time, all together. And they kind of just intermingled and, you know, did the bumpity and it just kind of, you know, became a new species. And we went out, you know, we're the big lottery winners. So, but we're slowly figuring this out, and it's just fascinating. So, the reason why I'm doing these cave creatures episodes is not to find monsters. It's not to find scary creatures in caves. It's to prove what my grandmother was told. So, are there people that live below the surface of the earth? Are there people that still, is there civilization still down there? And I'm not talking, you know, high rises and whatever. We don't know. We don't know if there's different types of structures that they built, or did they harness the power of fire, or whatever, you know, are they more advanced than us? Are they less advanced than us? I don't know. This is the things I want to find out, you know, and I'm not going to say I'm going to find all this out within a year, 5 years, 10 years. It may be the last day I'm alive that something will come up, and I probably won't find all the answers. But that's why I'm called a seeker, because I'm a seeker of truth, as was my grandmother and as was my aunt and several other people in my family that try to find the truths out there. So I'm going to show you some videos of people who have come across live species. Some are well-known archaeologists, some are of hikers, some are of spelunkers, professional and amateur. I tried to find the right videos, videos that were watched by all these professionals and scientists, and they couldn't find anything non-credible about these videos. So I don't have many. I have like 4 of them, and I even have one photo of one that a hiker took that he actually came face to face in a cave, and something I would only dream about. I would probably void myself if that happened, but I still would love to come face to face with a creature down there. And maybe creature is the wrong word for it, but you know, I've been conditioned to think that, and I should get past that. Anyways, so I want to show you these videos. You'll be hearing me, you know, with doing the voiceover and talking along with in between each video. So just, you know, be patient with me. I'm learning as I'm going. So I'm going to end this here, and then be sure to subscribe and be sure to hit that like button. Keeps these videos going, and I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you at the end of the video, actually. Right? Okay, so here's the first video.
2015, Southern Africa. In a region rich in ancient human fossils, a fantastic new discovery awaits. Deep underground. It's the first time paleoanthropologist Dr. Lee Berger has explored the Rising Star cave system.
I had this map I created of almost 800 cave sites that were all entryways into the underworld that I hadn't been in yet, and that was the mission.
Berger has heard rumors of human remains glimpsed down one of these passageways. It's challenging terrain for the scientific team.
To travel just 100 meters takes 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on how fit you are and how good you are at squeezing through very tight spaces. It's a torturous journey.
The effort is worth it. They make an incredible find.
I was speechless. There I saw something I thought I would never see in my entire career. There was a clearly primitive hominid just lying on the surface of the dirt.
The body is just the beginning. Berger and his team uncovered bones from 15 separate skeletons, dating from the time humans first spread across Africa.
We've had everything from individuals just born, all the way to the extreme elderly, and everybody in between.
But the bones are not human. They belong to a totally new species, Homo naledi.
Imagine if you're standing out here 300,000 years ago. A group of Homo naledi from 500 meters. They look very little different from humans because they're walking on two legs. As they approach, you're going to start seeing things that are different. You're going to notice that the proportions aren't right, that the heads are small, that the shoulders are narrow. When they got about 50 meters from you, you'd realize that's not a human coming at you. There'd be no mistaking.
Naledi now join the ranks of at least 3 other human-like species that existed in parallel to Homo sapiens 300,000 years ago. Exhibited here in the National Museum of Natural History.
We used to see human evolutionary history as that march of progress from ape-like to human beings. Instead, what we've learned is that there were contemporaries. Our evolutionary tree is branching and diverse, like the evolutionary trees of almost all other organisms on Earth.
But if all these human-like competitors once shared our planet, why are we the only ones left?
Okay, so here's a video that I wanted to upload. This is an amateur spelunker who is videotaping, and he came across something when he first entered the tunnel. You could see, you know, here in a minute, right there, that's that white thing going across the tunnel there at the end of the tunnel. And you know, I'm playing it over and over and over because I want you to kind of get an idea of what you're seeing here, because you do see the shadow of the spelunker at first, but it's a very intriguing video, and it just only proves that there's other hominids possibly in caves. You gotta excuse the music in the background. Okay, here's the third video. This is kind of creepy to me. This is how immense some of these caves are. And you can see the vegetation in some of the cave openings. Yeah, I found that unnecessary too, but that's okay. I think that was just put there for little dramatic purposes. So there's the creature. He just took a photo. Yeah. And it's so obviously it was kind of in the shadows, but I don't think he knew what he was taking a picture of. It just kind of showed up in the picture. There's the picture he took. Pretty incredible that he actually caught that on camera. So the creature is probably just as scared of him as he was of it, which is probably why that creature was hanging out in the background of the cave. I mean, I would only imagine. But you see how the features change because of adaptation. Okay, here's the third one. The fourth one, I think. So this one looks a little hokey to me, almost like a puppet. But when I did research on this video, a lot of videographers, tech individuals, scientists, anthropologists, paleontologists, you name it, they all looked at this video and they can't say it's fake because of the eyes blinking, the mannerisms on the face. But again, I looped it because I wanted you guys to kind of see, really pay attention to how the eyes blink, the mannerisms on the face change, the way the creature moves the muscle in each arm. And that poor kid that ran past there, he's probably gonna need some new underwear. Alright, so I hope you guys really enjoyed those videos, and I hope this intrigues you to do further research. I am super excited about continuing and going to more caves. I'm going to be going all over the state of Oregon into Northern California. There are a ton of cave systems around this area, and hopefully I get some evidence for you guys. Hopefully I get some evidence for myself. And I'm a seeker of truth and of answers, and I hope you are too. Let's just work together to find these things. So I hope you really enjoyed this episode, and keep hitting that subscribe button. Subscribe, and hit those like buttons and make some comments. I would really love to hear what you guys think or what you find out in your own research. And also keep it weird. Being weird is the thing of life. I mean, it opens up doors, and it allows you to expand your thinking and your and finding things out there that aren't typically in the limelight. So like I said, thanks again for showing up, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.